Good morning, Friday, March 17th, 2023. If you haven't, please go back and check out yesterday's video. There was a lot of conversation, a lot of comments on that video. I try to respond to as many as possible, talking about the McFarlane product versus the Bratz product versus the Engine of Vengeance and all of that stuff. Got a little heated, I guess. One commenter proclaiming that he was unfollowing me. I pinned his comments to the top of the page. So you should go back and check that out. I'll say this, listen, I'm a lifelong collector. I'll be 42 years old tomorrow. Back when Marvel Legends were in the infant stages and when Marvel Legends was just a little acorn, McFarlane was already putting out his Spawn line. I was collecting that at the time. Beautiful sculpts, paint detailing, everything looked nice. But of course, even back then, he had a problem with the articulation, or he didn't want to put, certain cuts and stuff in the figure. So they had real strange cuts in them in order to not break up the sculpts, basically. I think back then his stuff was a little ahead of its time, and that was over 20 years ago. So fast forward 22 years later, McFarlane has the DC license. He's making figures again. He has incorporated much more articulation, but really the figures that are coming out right now don't look much better than his previous work over 20 years ago. He hasn't caught up with the times in terms of engineering. As it relates to the vehicles and stuff like that, that stuff looks good. And for the price, $60, $80 cheap, you're getting what you pay for in terms of that. Like I said, if you want to take to those things with paint, dry brushing, and make them look better, it's definitely possible, but they still look cheap. And the sculpts on a lot of these figures still look terrible to me. McFarlane should be in a much better space in making figures that are on par with everything else that's coming out. I'm not a big DC fan. I'm a Marvel fanboy through and through, no question about that. I grew up on Marvel Comics, so I gravitate towards Marvel Legends. That's what it is. But in terms of DC figures, I still pick up all of the my FEXT DC figures because in terms of sculpting, engineering, paint application, the posability, the fun factor, it's all there. It's not there with the McFarlane figures, with me personally. So that's why I, say what I say. But to be fair, again, McFarlane is certified, stamped in terms of his artwork, his work with the Spawn figures back in the day. We give Todd credit where credit is due, but I'm not going to blow smoke up anybody's ass or act like the stuff that he's putting out right now is phenomenal or top tier, because it's not. A.C.B.A. Yes, sir. We're officially back at it. Boog Nice coming at you with another daily news update. So let me bring this all together, tie it all together here. Try to wrap this up with a little bow. We can also compare McFarlane, which is 7-inch scale, and I don't really collect 7-inch scale stuff, period. But let's compare McFarlane figures to Marvel Select. You can't think for 1 second that McFarlane is producing sculpts that look as good as those that we see from Marvel Select. Again, the price point for McFarlane figures is alluring. It's a great price point. It's a lot of plastic you get in for a little bit of bread, but to me personally, they don't look good. And like I mentioned in the comment section yesterday, this is my personal opinion. It just so happens that my podcast mates, we all pretty much agree that the McFarlane stuff is lackluster. I'm not speaking for all of A.C.B.A. I'm not speaking for the entirety of the collecting community. Also, I'm sure there's a disclaimer up at the beginning of every podcast video. Like 85% of the stuff that we're saying is jokes. I mean, the whole disdain for McFarlane thing is a bit in itself. But when I purchase something, I'm not really looking to have to customize it or paint it or do anything like that. I want it to be ready to rock. Now, in terms of the Engine of Vengeance, Hasbro messed that up. And from the beginning, I've said that the price point was not ideal. It was a little overpriced. The rollout was bad. And the overall package, everything that you were set to receive was lacking as well. So many things they could have done and could have included that would have made that Kickstarter or that crowdfunding successful. There were just not enough accessories. Now, the accessories that were packed in or that were slated to be packed in terms of the flame effects and all of that stuff, I saw somebody comment that was worth like $10. Stop it. That's definitely worth at least $40, $45. Those effects definitely adds value, but it was the lack of added accessories with the figures and the fact that they were not brand new sculpts on all of the figures, the lack of a throne with Mephisto, the fact that Mephisto was even behind behind this paywall, but clearly this was all set up based on things that are happening in the MCU and how Hasbro has to roll out their products alongside movies and TV shows and what have you. So with that said, shout out to my man Reed Cooper. We talk from time to time. He hit me up this morning stating that while this is not 100% confirmed, seeing a lot of people putting some validity on it happening because they are the same people who found out Werewolf by Night was happening last year. So in theory, there would be some sense of Hasbro deciding to release Mephisto this year or early next year if the team is able to. So yes, Hasbro continues to try to release figures alongside of their theatrical appearance and double back and give us not only the MCU versions of these characters, but the comic-based version. So the fact that the Engine of Vengeance failed is unfortunate, but I don't think that's our last opportunity to get this Mephisto figure. Furthermore, he sent me a link to an article that came out yesterday from the direct.com. The title reads, Marvel Studios' next Disney Plus special might have just been revealed. Rumor, in parentheses. And I'll read a little bit of this. Marvel Studios' next special presentation is rumored to be already filming ahead of its Disney Plus release. After Werewolf by Night received a positive reception from fans and critics, the special presentation experiment from Marvel Studios quickly became a format that many were eager to see more of. The success of the Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special further proved this claim, leaving fans to wonder if there will be more such projects in the future. Mephisto Disney Plus special rumored to be in development. So they're saying that Sacha Baron Cohen may be playing Mephisto. I don't know how I really feel about that. Deadline previously reported that Cohen is portraying Marvel's extra-dimensional demon, first on Ironheart, with other rumors pointing toward a return in Agatha. So this is maybe the second or third time that I'm actually hearing about him making an appearance in one of these shows. And then in other related news, in terms of Marvel Legends and MCU figures, Rectangular put up a post on his Instagram saying that people were sending him this terrible, blurry image that I am embarrassed to share, but that this is supposed to be proof of some information that he leaked back in October of another Disney Plus wave, which is set to feature Secret Invasion Nick Fury, What If Gamora, Secret Invasion Talos, Hawkeye Kingpin, I guess that means an MCU Kingpin, Agatha, Hawkeye Yelena, TBC Hero. Fabio saying Hero appears to be from What If, but I can't really tell who he is or who the Build-A-Figure is. Build-A-Figure looks like a live-action version of the Hydra Stomper. Todd said it looks like some figure with some type of jetpack. Again, we can't really see, but that's the rumor mill on the day. All right, I'm getting up out of here. Let's talk about all this stuff in the comments below. I will respond to as many comments as I possibly can. Before I go, though, big congratulations and shout out to High School Creations. The Kickstarter for his Wall XD did reach the minimum goal, and as of the time of this recording, it is over 42,000. So let's keep it going. Get those stretch goals. Big congrats, man. All right. Thanks for hanging out. As always, rate, comment, and subscribe. Hit that bell down there. And until next time, peace.
Man, who need you? You don't need me, I don't need you neither. That's why my next leg's gonna be a two-seater. And the things I do to you won't leave you beautiful. And though you feeling F me, I'm feeling mutual. I whisper on the remix, I gotta see chips. Time is money. When you talk, gotta be quick.